they call themselves ABBA, taken from the first names of the artists: Agnetha, Bjorn, Benny, and Annifrid. Here they are with a hit record at number 39 that debuts this week, titled Waterloo. At number 39 in our countdown of the 40 biggest hits in the USA this week, from Sweden, that was ABBA and Waterloo.
Casey's Coast to Coast.
This is Casey Kasem in Hollywood, and I have now a Song of the Year. 3 months ago, an international music festival called Eurovision held its annual song competition. It was held this year in Brighton, England, and 17 nations participated on an international TV hookup. All 17 were represented on the panel of judges who sat in their home countries, watched the competing songs performed on TV, and then cast their ballots, with an audience of more than 500 million people viewing the whole proceeding. Well, from the 17 entries, one from each participating nation, there's one grand winner, the Song of the Year. And the song that won this year was the entry from Sweden, performed at the festival by the Swedish group who wrote the song, and who released it as a single as well. And where is Eurovision's Song of the Year today? Open up the American charts at number 29. That's where. Here's Waterloo by ABBA. The world's biggest hits by the world's top artists on American Top 40. From Sweden, that was ABBA with Waterloo.
Casey's Coast to Coast.
You know, there's a world-famous foreign group in our countdown who so far have refused to play concerts in the USA. It's because they've never had a number one record here. Well, in a few minutes, they can start packing.
American Top 40.
This is Casey Kasem in Hollywood, and it's time now for the current smash by a group whose first American hit was voted Song of the Year at the world's biggest music festival, an all-European event called Eurovision. It's held every year, and all the participating nations are linked together for the affair by an international television hookup. Back in 1974, recording acts from 17 countries were entered in the competition, and all 17 countries were represented on the panel of judges. The festival was held that year in Brighton, England, and while 500 million people all over Europe watched, the competitors got up on stage and did their song for the cameras. Then the judges cast their ballots. The grand winner was a tune called Waterloo, and shortly thereafter it hit number 6 on the American charts. The winning act was the 4-member Swedish group, ABBA, and their latest hit is up 3 notches this week to number 23. It's titled, I Do, I Do, I Do, I Do, I Do. At number 23 in the countdown, that's ABBA and I Do, I Do. This is Casey, and we're 22 hits away from number 1.
Casey's Coast to Coast.
This is Casey Kasem in Hollywood, and now I have the brand new number 1 song in the nation by the group who have refused to play concerts in this country because they've never had a number 1 song here. Now that might sound like an unusual stand for a foreign group to take, but consider their motives. They've already had number 1 songs in more than a dozen countries around the world, and they're the biggest pop music phenomenon in England, Sweden, and Australia since the Beatles. In this country, they've already had 7 consecutive top 40 hits, enough to earn them good bookings and big bucks on a national concert tour. But they want to take their best shot. And to the 4 members of ABBA, they told us that means having a number 1 song. So, Agnetha, Bjorn, Benny, and Annifrid, you can start packing. This week, you've got the most popular song in America. At number 1, here's ABBA and Dancing Queen. And there you have it, the most popular song in the nation. At number 1 for the week ending April 9th, 1977, that's ABBA with Dancing Queen.
Casey's Coast to Coast.
One of the most popular recording acts in the world is selling millions of records every year for vegetables instead of cash. The Swedish group ABBA has been a hit in practically every country in the world, including the countries of Eastern Europe. But one of the problems of selling records in those parts is that those nations have a limit on the amount of money that anybody is allowed to take out of the country. And what ABBA earns in record sales is way over those limits. But instead of refusing to sell their records there, as a lot of acts have done, ABBA has been taking their earnings in produce and oil. They get a variety of vegetables from Poland, peppers from Czechoslovakia, and petroleum from Romania. Then they resell the goods in the Western world, and they're grossing about $12 million a year on it. And that ain't small potatoes. That's smart business. Well, ABBA's up to number 28 this week with their latest single, Name of the Game. ABBA moves up 7 big notches this week on American Top 40, their third week on the chart with Name of the Game.
Casey's Coast to Coast.